recording right now. So it's just gonna start recording whatever's happening.
Right.
How do you make certain?
We want to turn on.
So it's still registering my phone, but it's not sitting on the signal. So it's still, so it should should continue to record everything that's nice. And then go back to preview. So right now we have it set. We're just gonna stay just like that. So you shouldn't really have to mess with anything.
Okay.
One thing I would keep an eye on is if you go to this, you hit the speed button, it'll tell you when it's going. So we have pretty much a lot of juice. Me and John T's meeting was about 45 minutes, but since we got two guys, I expect to be about an hour, so we should be fine. So yeah, this is the main screen. Whatever you see here, that's what the world's gonna see as soon as we go live. So as soon as AD gets back and gets that thing, we'll change my shirt. We'll go live just a few minutes before to kind of get the feet going.
Okay.
And then.
Said, all right, this is interesting.
So this system, I think we'll end up purchasing the same system on stuff we want to do, and we'll spend the money on. Like I said, this system is made for. We have your really good camera, so you can always hold that, do your thing, whatever.
Right.
And when you can just get a bunch of these, like a really nice one you have. That follows and all that.
Right.
Just set up a bunch of tablets on a bunch of phones, whatever, and we can capture every angle all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Thinking if they have kind of like this box here is for that Canon, I wonder if they make us, for specific brands or different cameras.
Well, I'm sure it's just the cable. I'm sure we can just go get the cable.
Yeah.
To hook that into your camera and stuff. Because there's got to be a cable that has that on both of them.
Yeah. I know they're more likely.
Did you get lost?
I think you got it. I think you got it. All right, man.
So I'll do a quick little intro, talk about where we're at, kind of just everything like that, and then we'll just get right into the topics, kind of just go through some league announcements, which we don't really have any at this time, and then we'll just talk about some OTAs, preseason games, kind of, and then the teams. Well, I might hand that over to you guys, like, what team are you excited to, talk about, all that kind of stuff, and just see, and then we'll just kind of go down this list. And if we get off subject, it's not a big deal. It's kind of something to keep us moving along. So yeah. No, hit the live button, man. Let's get this going. Let us know when it should tell you how many people are watching at the bottom once you hit the go live. Oh, we're all set up.
No one yet.
Yeah, it'll take a few minutes for it to start to.
Is that mic picking up good, or is there no way to tell?
We can tell on AD's phone if he.
Yeah, I'm seeing it's peaking, so.
Okay.
We're good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you went live too?
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Come on.
So, get a few more viewers going. It's a nice restaurant. I've never been in this place before.
Yeah, the food. Wait till you have the food, man.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
I eat here every week during the season. That's why they didn't work as a sponsor last year because they were already working with another team. And like you said, like, I see you in here all the time, so get in early as soon as the season's done. So that's what I did, and I eat here. If I don't come here, I order wings from here.
Where's your gym at from here?
It's about 3 miles south. So just jump on the 101 right here on Thunderbird. Right down to Olive, right off the freeway.
Yeah.
What up, Riley?
Fly and piss a bunch of people off. So the one thing is when we're talking, try not to like be distracted by all that stuff out there. It's kind of a little bit hard and stuff, but anytime you're dressed in the public, right at the camera, if not, just have us do it. So cool. Where are we at now, Ray? Not 4. All right.
And it says
Yeah, yeah, those are just recording for post-production stuff. So that's the cool thing about the Sling is it'll record all the different inputs separately. So we have about 27 hours of record time on our hard drive. So we can literally, I can record 6 cameras at our game, so 18 hours worth of film, and take it back and have the guys post-chop it up and let Ray do his thing. Yeah, we can do highlights if we want, you know. So I'm gonna really try to get the other owners to have like their own production guys, and we'll just give them the film if they want to do specific highlights on their teams and players and things like that, you know. Because I mean, we'll have roughly 600 plus players, so it's a lot of people to highlight and go through. I mean, we ain't got an NFL production team, so like, you know, buildings of interns doing their own little clips, you know. So
highlight the guys that are playing well, and the teams that are doing well, and everybody else has got. I mean, you guys can only do so much.
Yeah, so I think, but just getting it started and getting the highlight players like you guys, and you know, some of I wish Daniel was still playing this year. I think he'd have been a great candidate to put on the team. You know, Tawny, he's got to make some decisions in life before he really, you know. So I don't even know if he's going to play next year. To be honest with you. Yeah, so he's got work's going really good for him. So he's kind of doing that and
going into that phase, man.
Yeah, so
that decision.
So all right. We'll get going then, because this is going to get played back live on the page. So, hey everybody, this is Matt with the CFL Live, coming at you from headquarters here in Peoria, doing a live show with one of the owners of the Lions and their star running back, Anthony. So we're going to get right into it. Just wanted to take a minute to highlight the bar and restaurant we're at. If you guys are free this weekend, they're here in Arrowhead, right? Is that where we're at? Peoria.
P83.
Yeah, P83, right by the Harkins Theater. So if you want to come down and get some food, this place looks really got TVs, football games on, Little League World Series, etc. So you know, just want to give a shout out to them and thank them for letting us invade their space. And that is one of the official sponsors for the Lions. So I'll let Ben talk a little bit about them right now, and then we'll get into the Q&A session. So go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, like I said, Headquarters Bar and Grill are one of our newest sponsor, just partnering with us on giving us a home base to come and spend time, celebrate, do our fundraisers, all that kind of stuff. So you guys will be seeing a lot of Headquarters. We got a big fundraiser coming up October, possibly another one in November. So we're also going to be working with Food for the Hungry on those fundraisers. So a lot of big things coming. So just stay posted. You'll be seeing their logo attached to ours in the league moving forward. So good things coming.
Yeah, we're excited. Cool. So some league announcements. We got the Combine locked in for October 13th at 8 a.m. We're going to be at Chandler Preparatory School down in Chandler, Tempe, Ahwatukee area there. We'll have the players sign-ups for you guys coming out here in 2 weeks. So all the players that are going to be involved in that got to register through the website. You guys get a bid number. It's all tracked electronically, so you guys will all be able to really tell who's the fastest running back, who the best, you know, all that stuff. So that's going to be coming out here in the next couple of weeks. Once again, the preseason games are coming up in January. I think you guys are going to try to do some scrimmages and stuff. So as soon as you get those locked in, let us know and we'll get it going.
Not to cut you off there, but we actually have we are playing the same weekend in December as the Stampede in Las Vegas. So we'll be heading down to do that as a little preseason kind of little national action. Have fun weekend down there, and then we'll be looking to do some scrimmages at our field at Copper Canyon. Right now we're talking to out-of-state teams. That's always preferred. It's just to scrimmage people outside of the league, but we're not opposed to getting with the right teams and the right fit to get either a joint practice with a scrimmage or something like that down the road. So it's always something we're looking forward to.
So I know we got some followers on the league page from out of state. So if you guys are watching, reach out to us. Let us know if your team's interested in hosting a CFL team, or if you want to come here to Phoenix and play. The league's opening that door to a lot of different out-of-state teams. I know Arizona's kind of been the redheaded stepchild on the West Coast, so the goal of the league is to try to change that image and be open and execute having those games and exhibitions. And we got January, we've got a few out-of-state teams coming. One of them plays tonight, the Colorado Greyhawks, for the national championship. So if you guys can catch that game, it's on YouTube. I don't have quite the information, but if you Google it, it's on there. They're coming in to play the Spartans, so I hope the Spartans are ready. I know the Stampede and the Rebels, I think they'll do really well. I think the Spartans are going to have to kind of step up their game a little bit, losing some players and obviously having Daniel go to college. So, but anyhow, if you guys are interested in that, reach out. www.azcfl.com is our website. All the links are on there for anybody to reach out to me, Raphael, marketing team, if you're interested in playing in the team. All our teams are listed on there with their contact information, where they practice, and links to their websites and Facebook pages. So, cool. So let's get into the combine. That's the first subject I want to talk about. Are you guys excited about that? Are you not? I mean, I'm going to hand it over to Anthony and let him kind of
I'm excited. I'm excited about it because this is something that really gets to put the players out there, what they can do, put it on paper. We all know who's good, hearsay or mouth say, but when it's on paper, that's a different story. We can know exactly who's doing what and who's going to do what. I'm excited about that, just to get it out there on paper instead of just word say, because everybody knows got something to say, who's the best, but when it's on paper, numbers don't lie. You can tell right there on paper.
So for the record, what's your 40 going to be?
40.
You got a prediction?
Last time I ran a 40, I ran like a 4.3. Okay. But that was probably like 7 years ago. I don't think I got any slower. So I'm predicting probably 4.4. Okay. Probably faster.
Cool. Ben, what about you? What do you think you're going to be at?
I also haven't ran a 40, but in a while. I think my last 40 was during my pro tryout in Seattle, and I ran a 4.36. But I'll be 31 in November, so I'm not. But one thing is, there's not many players that in the league that train as often as I do and as hard as I do. So
true.
I mean,
it shows.
I was at the track at 7 a.m. this morning, and tried to get my team out at 8 a.m. to the field. So on Saturday mornings as well. And obviously, I'm in the gym, so I'm in the gym. So there's no slouching on my part. My time will be no slower than 4.4. I won't say I'll break into that 4.3 because I am getting older, but I don't feel like I've lost a step. But until you see it on that clock, it doesn't matter. But to me, I'm excited for the competition, a way for guys to compete, hang out, promote the league. I'm excited for that stuff. For me, I've always been a player that game speed is a lot different than time and all of that, and a lot of guys you can see that difference. For me, I run a 40 a lot faster if I'm running somebody's running next to me, and we're racing to the finish. Over the years being a trainer, the 40 is a lot of technique. Has to do with speed, of course, but it's a ton of technique. When you work your way up to the pro level of tryouts and those things, you start to see that the difference between running a 4.4, a high 4.4, and a 4.5 flat, and a 4.3, low 4.3 is technique. And so it'll be interesting to see what a lot of these guys who are fast on the field, how that translates to the actual testing of their skill set, because it's out there. A lot of these guys think that they can play at the next level and play on Sundays and do those things, and we know that 2% of the football population can actually do that. And so I'm excited for the competition that it brings and what it will be, and then also, like AD said, to kind of put some of those things to rest that happen on the red zone, and I'm the fast, and I'm gonna outrun you, and I'm gonna in one-on-ones beat you up all day and do that kind of stuff. But that's what I'm excited for, man. It's just the competition. I love to compete. I don't care if it's on the gridiron, on the track.
It shows.
So,
and that's the thing that we did. We hired a professional company, so they're actual laser timed. They track everything through a bid system. Highlights on their website, which will translate that over to ours. And so it's as close as I can get it to the real thing without spending millions of dollars to do it. So I'm excited to see you guys compete as well, and we'll have all the teams there. That's something you guys should be ready for. All the CFL teams will be in attendance with their helmets, uniforms, coaching staff. So you players are welcome to come. It's free to the players. It's free to anybody, whether you're in another league or not in any league, or if you're just trying to see what your time is for your college tryouts or anything like that. It's free to whoever wants to come and attend. They just got to register online. That's probably the only mandatory stipulation is if you're not registered up to the deadline, then we have no way to track you, et cetera, et cetera. So if you want to come watch, it's free to watch too. We'll have food trucks out there. We'll have looking into getting a DJ to play some music, kind of just keep it going, and we might run some 7-on-7s afterwards just to kind of see who's really there. I'm more excited to see the wide receivers, I think, because that seems to be the talk of the town, at least the last 2 years I've been around, is who's the best receiver, running this, running that, so we'll be able to really, like I said, dial in at the times. And then what that feeds into is when we go into our season, we'll have a statistician every week to see, okay, AD did run 1,000 yards this year, not speculation or week 4s at 900, week 4, okay, what's the rest of the season? So, we're doing that to kind of envision with what you have going. I want to give you guys players every tool you possibly can to highlight yourself. I had somebody ask me on social media, what are we doing different? I think we're doing different just giving you guys all the tools. I'm not bringing scouts there, but if you have film, if you have, we did it for Daniel, and we helped him work through some of that, his stats video, send that out to the recruiting teams, and he took it and ran with it. So that's my goal for all the players is if you guys are trying to go to the next level, start with the combine. Get on a competitive team that has a structured organization, has a great core values, and build yourself to be ready for that next level. So I know that's huge. If you don't buy into those systems, you might as well not even go to the college tryout.
And also to chime in on that, considering that JUCO football is going to be gone.
Yeah, that's one of my topics
Arizona,
to talk
so
about.
this will be a big platform for players who want to get to D1 or who want to get to any college outside of after high school. So it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah,
big deal.
and that's huge. And touch base on that, like we said, the JUCOs I think are finished after this season. So all of you guys watching that are in those junior colleges here in the Arizona, Phoenix metro area, please come to the combine. Even if you don't compete, come talk to those teams. Work on trying to get yourselves aligned with the right organization and set yourself up for success. So that's pretty much it for the combine. Let's move on to the teams for the league. Obviously, we went from 0 teams to 16 teams in a matter of a week. And, I'm a big man on credit, and I got to give a lot of credit to Ben for helping me kind of navigate through some of that stuff and figure out how to present things and listen to the other owners. And so for you, I thank you for that. And I want everybody to know that, you and Ed played a big role in helping me kind of figure out what was the best for all of us owners. And, as people know, I owned the Spartans for a while, so that was, just to kind of give the players back what they want. And having your guys' feedback and everything was a huge help. So, what are your thoughts on the teams? The concerns, excitement, the player. Just give me your feedback on what so far is going on. So, who wants to go first?
My excitement is just 16 teams. I mean, we know that in the semi-pro world that some teams don't make it. So when you have more bigger numbers, the chances of more teams falling off, there's always that chance. But I think with the platform we rolled out, the league functioning under payments and on as high as other leagues and all that kind of stuff, I think every team really has a platform to be successful, and that's what excites me. Is the amount of teams that we're going to be able to compete with, and then just what that does for the platforms and the playoffs and having the true state champion and all those things. We know that the Stampede had a great year. They won the GFL, and they won the outright state championship against another league champion. And when you have 16 teams, you don't really have to worry about playing another league that only had 6 or 8 teams. And I think it's a great step for the first year. My honest opinion is that there won't be much reason after this year and after we execute. And I say we because without the teams, there is no league, And so it's really up to us as the owners to uphold that league standard and what you're trying to do. And if we do those things and we're successful in executing all the things that you have rolled out for us, and some the public know about and others won't be rolled out until it's all finalized. We have some final payments and other things going on. So, but once we execute and deliver what this platform is, what the CFL is, there's not going to be any reason for any other league in the state. And that's my conversations with you leading up to it and all of those things. That was my hope, was to get every owner, every team to understand that we're stronger together, we're better together. The more competition we have in the league, the more we can do for these players. And that's why I started the team. So I'm excited about 16 teams. There's not, of course you have the teams you love to play and compete against and your rivals. And one of our favorite team to play is the Stampede. We got a lot of players that played over there. I played over there before I became an owner. We love to compete against that team and those guys. So of course we're looking forward to compete against them and the Phantoms and teams that have been around for a long time. The Rebels are doing great things, Spartans, but just the sheer amount of teams that's crazy to me. And I'm hopeful that every team is doing what they need that we start this league, kick off this league with 16 teams and really put Arizona semi-pro football where it should be on the map with the amount of talent we have here in the state.
No, it's exciting. As of right now, all 16 teams are in, and it's kind of the off season still, so a lot of OTAs and practices are just starting to get going. I think move into October, I think is when we're really going to see a lot of transitions and players moving and trying out different teams. And we've had some players sign up so far in the league, and I was kind of shocked to see them pick that team out of all of them. But I'm excited, and for me, it's not a matter where you guys play. It's what's best for you. It's best for the players, the organization. My goal is to be in the CFL. If you're in the CFL, that's all I really, honestly, because that's the only way you're going to get the tools. You're going to get the teams like you, Stampede, the Phantoms, is if you're in this league. And knowing this. So, but go ahead, AD. Let me hear what you got to say. You're a true player, so and a leader in this league.
I'm just excited for the new platform. I mean, I'm not from Arizona. My family's in California. So for them to be able to play, watch me play, via live stream, it's going to be awesome. I don't have that many years left, but I am getting older. So I am approaching where I just want my family to be able to see me, see what I was doing, and get on to raising my kids. Because after that, I'm going to be coaching my son, getting him ready to get better.
And hopefully he takes your work ethic and runs with it.
So he's already getting it. So,
It's one thing I commend you guys for, is taking your willingness to put yourselves out there and take a leap of faith, especially coming from a successful team like the Stampede and coming over to the Lions. I'll go publicly and tell everybody, I tell Ben all the time, if I didn't own a team, I would have been a Lion, because what you guys have as a core value is what I truly believe about football, is being a team, a family, playing for the guys next to you. And I knew when that transition happened this last year, give it 1 year, you guys had a great season, regardless of what the outcome in the playoffs was. It was a success in my eyes.
Absolutely.
To me, you're one of the forefronts to take it all the way out. There's about 5 teams I think that can really go all the way, and to be honest with you, I think the Lions is one of those teams. So
that's the next step. I mean, second year we make it to the playoffs, and we had a 5-game stretch there where we were without star running back, leading rusher in the league, and we had injuries on the front line and the D line, and then quarterback play and all that stuff. And those are the things we wanted to address this season, so this off season, and we've addressed those things. We haven't made a lot of noise as far as announcing who we're signing and those things, but I will tell you, we have a quarterback that is committed to our team, and a young guy, and he's good, man. He's good. And, so we feel like we addressed that. Our depth at running back. We had Ian, who's a good young running back, and he's been getting better. He's been in the lab working and getting better, and myself, and we're adding another running back. So you know, the depth there is going to be good. We're going to be able to get a great change of pace, and which is what you know, AD, when he came over in the first place, what he wanted, what he needed. We just didn't have the depth. Me and him and Ian, and it's a working man's league, so sometimes a guy can't get off work, and the next thing you know, you got to take 30 carries, and, you know what I mean. So having that depth is going to be huge, and that's the next step is you know, is to make a run, try to make it to the championship, and do that. So.
Awesome. So with that being said, are you guys trying to implement more of a passing game this year? Are you trying to 50 it up? I know last year it was mainly running, and like you said, when he went out, it kind of, you know, it may not have fulfilled the plans you had at that moment. You know, it's always the unforeseen thing. You know.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
With the new QB, is that going to really elevate it? You know.
Absolutely, it will. When you are one-dimensional, it's really easy to game plan and shut that one dimension down. And yeah, you might pop a play here and there, and, you know, complete a pass here and there. But when it's not what you're doing, you know, it's real hard to win consistently in one dimension on a football field. And so obviously, you know, our coaching staff is capable, more than capable of you know, kind of one of my disappointments was that our head coach is one of the great offensive minds in the state, and we weren't able to put those things together when AD went down. And so that's been a big talk in the off season, is that we should be able to navigate and adapt those things, and just adding that depth at quarterback, and adding the quarterback that we've added on purpose, not using his name or anything like that. But he hasn't played in this league, I'll tell you that. He's from Colorado, but adding him gives our coaching staff a tool that we didn't have. And it's nothing against the quarterbacks that played for us. Tyree's, you know, he didn't come into the season expecting to play that position.
Just kind of got
as capable as he is, he wants to be a receiver, he wants to be a DB. It's hard to take the reins of that team and run, and when you make a mistake, and everybody knows, you know, quarterbacks,
you know, everybody's
hard on him. So he did the best he could, and we were grateful to have him. I mean, we won a lot of games with him, you know, and we were in a lot of games with him. I mean, our first game with the Outlaws, he played great. So in having Rome come over, you know, he did what he could. A lot of it, you know, was just, and I've had this conversation with him, was just having that relationship with your receivers, and trusting your arm, and seeing the field. And he's a little guy, you know, and just didn't really have being able to implement his skill set into what we were trying to do. So
makes sense.
No knock against those guys, but this quarterback gives us a tool that we didn't have before. And we have good young receivers. You know, I have skilled guys that'll contact us and say, hey, I play receiver, I want to come over, and we're adding a couple, but the truth is we have some solid young receivers that with a quarterback that can get the ball to them are going to make some noise in the league. So we're just excited about that, and being able to compete, you know, on the ground and through the air, and take some of the pressure off AD, myself, and the older players that don't need to be on the field, you know, 66 plays a game, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So we're definitely excited about that dimension.
Because I know personal experience, that was a game plan when we played you guys, was if we can isolate him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We can do whatever we want.
The great thing about AD is that's everybody's game plan, is if you can isolate him, but easy to say it, much harder to do.
And I did notice as the season went on, Fisher and your OCs were using him more as a decoy. You know, and that's the great thing about huddle, like what we're gonna have for all you guys, is the teams will get to prepare in huddle. We're not using a YouTube video that's chopped up and windy. We'll have the huddle in addition to our live streaming. So you guys we'll get to pre-plan and do all that. Obviously, the first game for some of the new teams, you know, like the Knights and the Owls, got kind of unknown. Like the Spartans were their first year, and we had no idea. So, you know, that'll be a good element. You know, so and those will be free to all the players as part of your league. Sign up with your teams, and through the league, the huddle accounts will be there for you guys, and they won't get deleted, and let you know, you guys have those for life. So, well, cool. Let's get into you guys. So, AD, I'm gonna start with you. So, tell me a little bit about your career. I've always wondered why you're not playing pro. And I'm sure it has something to do with your family or maybe kids or work, but just tell me a little bit about your career and where you want to go, and background and stuff like that.
So I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
I started my football career at the age of 7. So literally, I've been playing football since 7 every year. 31. So I'll be 31 in March.
Awesome.
So I've been playing every year. Went to JUCO. Only reason I'm not playing on Sundays is because I messed up. I mean, I'd rather do this than go to school. And I was in the streets and doing money and doing all the other stuff, and I focused on football because I didn't really know at that time that that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I kind of like lost track and didn't go the route I was supposed to go, considering I didn't have a father or nothing like that in my life to guide me. But my football career, I've been playing since I was 7. I played at Fort Hays State University.
Okay.
I went to JUCO, went the JUCO route. First, I went to Grant High School, Valley Glen, Los Angeles. From there, I went to Los Angeles Valley College. From there, I went to Fort Hays State University, which is graduated school, came to Arizona on just a visit, and actually stayed. And how I got introduced to semi-pro football out here is I was bored at the house, and I was just like, I'm gonna play football. So I Googled semi-football pro in Arizona, and at the time, this was 2012, CFL popped up. So that was the first one that popped up. So I looked at the teams, and I chose the team headhunters based off the colors. I didn't know anybody. I was fresh out here. I didn't know no coaches. Red and black is my color, so I was like, I'm gonna run with them. So start playing with them, and I'm here now.
So I did the same thing. I Googled semi-pro, trying to fulfill a high school fantasy of mine that never got finished. And my brother is a big star in his high school, so I'm gonna do this. That's how I ended up, getting involved with us, Spartans and all that good stuff. So, the one thing I want to ask, so with your life experience, do you bring that to the team? Do you try to mentor these younger guys?
Because I know
Ben, that's a passion for him.
I don't want nobody to make the same mistake I made. I had all the tools, I just didn't have the platform I needed to follow, to use my tools. So with this team, when I teamed up with Ben, I wanted to bring to the table where guys put them in the right position and let them know, like, hey, you have this tool, you can use it.
Yeah.
Don't be like me and mess it up.
Yeah.
You can really go somewhere with this and make money off this if this is what you really want to do. I mean, screw the money. If this is really what you want to do, have fun, then you can do this. You just have to have the right tools and the right system and people who back you up to push you in the direction you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I did not. I didn't have that at all. I mean, we street. That's all we know is the street. So I bring that into the game with my rugged and the way I play, but at the same time, I also bring my experience of what I did and what I don't want the younger guys who are coming behind me to follow in those footsteps.
Yeah.
I want something better.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what we're trying to do with the CFL. To piggyback off of that is guys like yourself that are reaching their 30s and they just want to play for fun.
Yeah.
I want to be able to let you guys do that as well as help the younger kids coming out of high school and learn through those. I always say a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from somebody else's.
Yeah.
And your story is not uncommon. I've heard that multiple times on other teams, even owners. So I'm very honored that you're willing to do that with us, CFL, with the Lions, and carry that load on your back per se. And they may not tell you at the time, but they do appreciate it. I had a player reach out to me yesterday that we had a falling out a while back, and he just told me thanks for doing what you did, even though we didn't get where we wanted to go. Yeah. So with that being said, don't ever lose sight of that. Make sure that those guys keep, and don't be afraid to put your foot down. I know Ben's not, I wasn't, and I think that's what makes a successful mentor. It's like, hey, no tough love.
I learned a lot from this man.
So. All right, Ben, well, tell me about you, man. I got your current situation. Tell me the gym and then how you went from, my same question to me. Why aren't you playing somewhere that's...
man, coming out of high school, I was football was important, school wasn't. I didn't have the grades to go do anything beyond JUCO. I mean, I had a few scholarship offers, but they wanted to redshirt me because of my grades and this and that. And, you know, I wanted to play, so I chose the JUCO route. I ended up in Mission Viejo, California at Saddleback. I did a year there, and I transferred to a 4-year school in Kansas called Tabor Christian. And I was there for a semester, and then I transferred back to JUCO. Long story short, I had about 6 transfers too many to really fulfill any of the academic side of the things I was doing. Ended up at University of Nebraska Omaha, and was getting it going there, but they needed me to do some summer classes, and I was just done with school. And, actually, I was home for the summer, and I've done martial arts my whole life, and I took an amateur fight just kind of to do something, and it went well. Ended up with some sponsorship out of the deal, and they were willing to pay me, and football wasn't, so I went that route for 9 years. I fought professionally, and that's actually what brought me to Arizona. Out here training and doing that, and then just missed the game. And I was 26 years old. I had 27 years old, and made some phone calls from the teammates that I had met through my 6 transfers that had now become scouts, and knew a couple of people in the front office in San Francisco, some people that went to my high school and did some great things in life. And so I was able to do a tryout in Seattle, and I needed to get back into the game from there. So I did the same thing, Googled semi-pro football in Arizona, and ended up playing for a team called the Villains in the AZFL, which was another startup team that was, I think we won 1 game that year. And some of my core players now played with me back then, and so that was my first year in the AZFL, and I ended up with the Headhunters the next year and won a championship. Played with the Stampede our first year in the GFL, and then was looking to step away from an established team and start on a team that I wanted to make a name for myself. As a player, I hadn't really done more than the championship and the AZFL and stuff. I really wanted to just kind of do something away from the powerhouse team, and I got involved with a team called the King Leos, and I'm not going to get into it, but that stuff didn't go the way that I had signed up for it to go, and the opportunity came for me to take that on and take over, and we became the Lions, and we had that first year, and then now here we are, so.
And I remember that first year. I followed your guys' team pretty closely. It was my first year as well. I remember coming in the locker room in that one game and just, having a little pep talk with the team, those 13 or 14 guys. And like I said, man, whatever you 2 guys are doing, along with, a couple of your coaches, don't stop. Whatever it is, I haven't been to your teams, and just whatever it is, it shows on the field, it shows on social media. The players talk nothing but high regards about the Lions. And we know it's semi-pro. There's always drama involved. There's always that one player that can't get it together, But as an overall organization, you've done a great job. Especially going from that first year to the second year, that off season. I mean, I think you're a lot like me. You kind of put your head down, listed all the problems, and you fixed everything that you wanted to fix and grow into where you're going at now. So absolutely, I'm excited, and thanks for sharing all that. So what can we expect from AD this year? Are we looking at another 2,000-yard season, or are you going to be the vet that's,
I'm gonna go out with a bang. So depending on how this season pans out, this might be my last season. This might be your last season, okay. I'm training hard, I'm getting ready. Like, I want to match my stats from last year, but supersede them. What I mean by that is I don't want to be injured, because I was sidelined 5 games last year, so that killed me. So I'm working hard. You should expect more rough, hard working, hitting the holes harder, just going in, I'm gonna play every game like it's the last game of my life this season. So expect something big. I don't really like to talk about what I'm gonna do, but I just like to do it.
That's one thing I admire about you. You're not like me. I don't like to talk all that. Just go out there, do my thing.
Exactly.
Don't work or don't work. If it does, it does.
Exactly.
So Ben, what about you? You gonna be more of an overall leader, or are you gonna try to focus in on? Because I know you play both sides of the ball a lot, and special teams, and when you didn't really need to. I mean, you got 60, 50 guys on your team. Like, are you gonna focus in on one position this year, or are you just gonna kind of be wherever you need?
I would like to say, my position, I'm a yes sir. That's my position, yes sir. Whatever my coaches need, whatever they ask me, but knowing that I am going to the latter part of my career and owning the team and playing is difficult. Just shout out to all you owners that still play and do it. Sean, you did it for years. It's difficult, man. And so coming to the latter part of my years in the game, I want to go out the same way that I came in playing it, and that's playing all over the field. So right now, I'm training. I haven't trained this hard since my fight career ended. I'm going to be in the best shape I've ever been in come February, and I told my coaches, I tell my teammates every chance I get, I'm going to be competing on the defensive side of the ball. If that's a corner, safety, outside linebacker, wherever, I'm going to be competing on the defensive side of the ball to be on the field, and on the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to be pushing this cat. I'm going to be pushing our slots. The thing about being an athlete is I can help the team in a lot of ways. And so if that's special teams, if that's in the backfield, if that's lined out wide at X, whatever, I'm going to be able to do that. And this year, I think my plan is to prove that I'm one of the top all-around athletes on the field that can really get things done. Especially the return game is something that's always been a passion of mine, but I know it's a way that young guys are able to get on the field at the next level. And so we have those guys that have been trying to do that on our team, and so it's been easy. It's better for me to let them do those things. But going into this year, I do want to try to get a few returns and show. That's what I was recruited at the professional level to do. When I left junior college, my last year junior college, my sophomore year, I led the nation for the first 8 weeks of college football, and that's D1, everybody, and average punt return yards. It's what I do. I'm good at it. But I haven't been able to focus on it and do that. So that's one area of the game that I want to impact this season and just show I can do this too.
That's exciting. I know that's the one thing I love about semi-pro is you get to see who real athletes are, because they're on both sides of the ball. They're playing special teams. Sometimes not by choice. By the first season, you guys played everywhere. I remember playing that game and just I was impressed. So I'm excited to see, like I said, to see you guys come out and really just put some hurting on some teams, and always be the underdog. That's always what I love to be. I love being the guy coming in. You have nothing to lose at that point. It's win or cool. So, what teams are you excited to play, and what teams are you not excited to play?
I think I touched on a little bit earlier.
I'm excited to play the Stampede. For the simple fact, I just want to beat them.
Oh yeah.
That's Stampede. That's what I'm excited. Everybody else is cool, but Stampede, that's what I want to play. I have a point to prove to them, so that's the team I want to play. That's what I'm excited to play. That's what I'm least excited to play. It's Stampede. That's it.
And I think, we have, like I said, we have a lot of players that have played for Sean. I don't think it's a bad blood type of thing. It just is that type of rivalry. Honestly, if I played, if I still knew a lot of the players on the Headhunters, I don't. But if I did, that would be a team that I would be excited to play. I don't think it's a bad blood team. It's just more of a, like you said, I want to put a statement to prove and play the players you played with before, and now they're the champions, and so they're going to be in everybody's. Everybody's going to answer that question, Stampede. For me, it's the competitive games, man. Those we had a game with the Thunder down there in Tucson this year that was super close. Literally, the ball didn't bounce our way. They scored on a crazy fumble type of deal, and
Thunder.
And they had it was a really good defensive game, and those are the games that I live for. So I'm excited to play the Thunder. I don't think it's by mistake that they have a decent defense every year. I'm excited to play the Outlaws. There's teams that were able to beat us, and the Phantom, they got us, and to lose to them twice, and those things. Those are the games that, as an owner, I want to beat those teams that were able to get us last year. And, the goal every week is to go 1-0. So whoever's in front of us, I'm excited to play. But there are those few rivalries or games you want to. They mean a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, touch base on Sean, they've got a great organization over there. He's done a great job since he took that team over a few years ago. Coaching staff is, they're all dialed, they're on the same page. And I think that's what makes it a competitive game, because not only do you have the athletes on both sides, like your team, but you also have the coaching staffs that are battling it out, and trying to overcome the other person's objectives and things of that nature. So, So I think you said it's going to be the same answer, Stampede. So Sean, welcome to the big leagues, and winning the championship. Everybody knew that was going to come. So I've had some in-depth conversations with Sean, and his vision is the same as ours. He wants to elevate the league, elevate his team. And I've told everybody, whoever wins this first season, I'm putting all my chips on that horse. Whether it be you guys, the Pete, the Rams, whoever. That's who we're going to push to go to these out-of-state games. We're going to bring people in. That's going to be the face. So I'm hoping that all these teams stay competitive and respectful and understand the big picture. So that's one of those things. What's your thoughts on the new teams? I've got the Rams popping up, the Owls. The Knights are coming over from the AZFL. The Crusaders, they've been around a long, probably the longest next to the Outlaws, I think, within our league. So what's your thoughts on those guys?
For me, from an ownership standpoint, I haven't been in Arizona very long. I haven't been in the semi-pro community very long, but so I don't know a lot of the owners of these teams. And some of them sounds like they've been around for a long time, and they know a lot of players. And so I'm excited. It seems like right now that the newer teams are starting out with a little bit more backing, a little more players than the Lions had, and that kind of stuff, which is good, because that means that hopefully we can sustain.
Absolutely.
And just excited that there's still enough. That just tells us that there's still enough players, still enough athletes in the state that we can still be growing our teams and growing the league.
Absolutely.
And so I just hope that they're upholding the standards and the things that you have set, and that some of the other owners, we've all talked about coming over, because a lot of people may not know that we made a collective decision as owners leaving the GFL, and I know we're not the only owners in the league, but we did make up the vast majority of the jump. And so my hope is that the owners can continue, all of us, not just the GFL guys, but all the owners that are coming from the AZFL, the new teams popping up, can continue to work together for the betterment of semi-pro football, especially with the JUCO stuff. Because it's not just the JUCO guys that don't get picked up and they have another year of JUCO or they still have eligibility. It's also high school kids that aren't going to get scholarships.
Correct.
So we have almost a duty, I feel like, to offer and give these young guys an opportunity to get better, get some film, and win and learn and grow and all of those things. So as owners, if we can all get on the same page about, this is about winning, this is about our brand, yes, all of those things, but it's about these guys.
At the end of the day, it's about the players. And that's, touch base, that's why we went me and Raphael transitioned from owning the Spartans to the league because we wanted to fulfill those promises to those 36 original players that started our first season that we couldn't do. And in order to do that, we had to put our focus somewhere else. And like you said, the coalition, or the union we like to call them, I knew that that's one of the main goals, is to highlight the players and really reach out to the younger high schools and the JUCOs and try to get them and not just see them as somebody that pays me a fee and stands on the sideline. So, we are working on, that's one of our bucket list items for this next season, is to get into the high schools and try to go into that route of letting them know we're here. We're going to do a lot of Facebook campaigning and stuff moving on to the next a couple months. We're going to be pushing the players, the demographics of that age group, to just our website. Let them decide which teams they want to go to and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of good stuff coming from, the transition. And the league is working closely with, a couple of the newer teams to make sure things are on point, and, they're all kind of following the same guidelines and, everything, so we don't have a team fall out. I don't want the same thing to happen to you the week before the season started, just the team's done, but now what do we do? We don't want that. We want to have the 16 teams playing competitive, the divisions, all that stuff. So, cool. Well, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Is there anything you guys want out of the CFL, the ownership, or anything, any questions? Really, it's an open floor for you guys to talk about whatever you want for the next, 10 to 15 minutes.
I really don't have no questions. I'm just happy that brought this upon, because, it's for the younger guys.
Yeah.
Us older guys, we already played. It's just for fun for us now.
Mm-hmm.
But for these younger guys who really have dreams and following, this is a great platform for people like you, me, Ben, to push them,
yeah,
make sure they reach that peak.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited about that. I'm about the younger people. I just got older, I'm mature now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about me. I'm really trying to look out for the people around me and it's under me.
Yeah.
I just want the best for what's going to happen for the younger guys.
I think that's the big thing. As long as you put someone else first, you never fail. At least that's how I look at life. I see that truly from you guys and the Lions and even Fisher. On the field, I don't like him. I hate playing. But off the field, I talk to him probably more than anybody out of any coach in the league. Is probably me and him. And so I think that brings a great value to the league, is just having that separation. You can be a coach that people kind of don't want to play against, or just but off the field you can shake hands and be good friends. So
there's no questions. I'm pretty filled in and try to contact the team as much as possible about those things. What is important to me from the league side, from the ownership of the league and the front office there, is progression.
Mm-hmm.
Two words come to mind. First one is professionalism. We're not going to grow a fan base. We're not going to grow a pool of players that we can, choose from in the community and inside the league without being professional.
Yeah.
And that's, being on time with schedules and fields and all of those kinds of things, and but also I don't think you and I have ever had a conversation, even dating back to when the Lions were still in yellow and blue, that wasn't professional, helpful, progressive, all of those things. And that's what, when you came to me and said, look, this is what we're doing, that's why I knew this is going to be best for my team, even if there's 4 teams in this league, because Matt is about progression, he's about progress, and he's about professionalism. The second word is consistency. Rides the coattails of professionalism. Being consistent, continuity, having the same product. If it's at this field at this time, it's going to be the same product that's at this field at this time. And getting out the information, the platform for the players, having all those things be consistent. Just your guys is, wanting us to be able to get into the back end of a website and have our players and rosters and all of that stuff to make it easy on us as owners, because again, this is semi-pro. A lot of us owners, I'm pretty sure every single one, this isn't our job. something that pays our bills and allows us to do this. And so things that make it less time consuming for us on the paperwork end, so that we can do the team stuff and make sure that stuff's running, and some of the stuff you guys want to do with budget outlines and all those kinds of things. The focus is on the progression of the product, and that's important to me. As a person, I always say it's, at my gym, our saying is progress, not perfection. We're never complacent. We're never going to stop going. We're never going to settle. And to see that amongst the ownership of the league was a no-brainer. And I know a lot of the owners are seeing that now, and it was important to them in the conversations that we had leading up to the switch. So whatever keeps you guys driving to do that, the only thing I can say is to keep doing that. Keep that, keep that the main thing, and there's going to be sky's the limit.
And I appreciate that, and we've discussed some of the stuff in the owners meeting. We do have a 5-year plan, which we won't get into now until maybe after the season, and I'll talk to you about some of those goals. And the goal is to eventually be able to hit every level of football and have the name attached to it, if that makes sense. We want to do the Pop Warner League, we want to do flag, we want to do clinics, we want to do referee clinics, we want to, we've partnered up with this reffing company to fulfill those requests of the players of having consistent stuff. My favorite saying is semi-pro does not mean semi-professional. And that's the mindset going into this whole thing, is to give the players exactly close to an NFL experience as they possibly can, within reason, right? I mean, let's just be honest with each other. So, the team does take part of that, but the back end on the website, we're working on that as the players sign up. Those rosters are being built right now. We'll have some clinics on that probably in October with all the owners to really learn how to work through that. So, and I appreciate it. I really do, and I hope that what we're doing is making an impact on lives. It's kind of setting the tone for the rest of the state. The goal is to have one league. I have a feeling by the end of the 2019 season that will be that'll be it. And if there isn't one league, we'll have all the players. I think that's going to be the transition there. Is the players are going to come. The league may still exist somewhere else. So,
well, you guys have the right approach. You're doing it. You're going about it the right way. It's not it's giving the players and the state and what we want, what the players want, what the owners want. For me, I still get both sides of it.
Yeah, me too.
As a player and as an owner, so and I know there's some thoughts out there and bad blood. Some of the other leagues, and whenever a new guy comes on, wants to do things differently. Me as an owner, I do things differently.
Yeah, I did too.
And so I get it. But this isn't a knock on what any other league is doing, or what any of these other guys are doing. It's simply you believe that you found a way to do something great, and I'm about getting behind people who want to do great things. That's what it's about for me. It's not, it's nothing against the GFL owners. Tim he was great to me. He helped me through a lot of hurdles in that first year, coming through, transitioning the team a week before the season was starting, and he was great in a lot of ways. It's nothing against that organization, nothing against my time in the AZFL. I got a championship there. I don't knock those guys for doing things, but one thing I can say is complacency. And when I see somebody who says I can do this, and they can put it in front of me, I can get behind that all day. And I think everybody watching, I think all the other owners, I think all the other players in the state, not even just in the league, can agree that they want to be a part of something great. And so let's do it, man. It's going to take all of us. So.
But I think, touch base, that's some of the greatest things in our history of a human to come from having to change something or a circumstance that they didn't like. The computer, phones, the list with TV, list goes on and on and on. And coming from a player, owner, to just an owner, like I said, the GFL was a great platform for us to launch, and you know, the Spartans, and a lot of credit goes to them. You know, I took a lot of their little things that they were doing and just tried to figure out a way to tweak them, and you know, but at the end of the day, we want to help the players, and that's my ultimate goal. You know, and so, you know, if that meant I had to leave 30 guys behind to get 800, you know, so, you know what I mean? So, and sometimes that's the way it goes, you know, so, but, cool. Well, anyways, anything else you guys? Good, we're good?
I can honestly say I played in 2 leagues since I've been out here, the AZFL and the GFL. And this coming in, I'm a good person at viewing and feel vibes and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a business at the end of the day, but you're about the players.
Yeah.
The other 2 leagues I played in, they were just businesses. They just wanted the money.
Yeah.
This one, we have more stuff that you're going to do, and I mean the platform is even bigger. So it's just not